Venezuela is done, and the bigger question is, what next? Cuba, Colombia, Mexico, Canada, or Greenland? The wife of the White House Deputy Chief of Staff drops a bombshell. A single post, a single word, and shockwaves across Europe. Katie Miller posted a map of Greenland on X, colored like the US flag, and worst, she captioned it as soon. Within hours, 11 million views crossed and surging. Since returning to the White House in January, Donald Trump has revived his long-standing obsession with Greenland. He calls it strategic, essential, and vital for U.S.'s national security. Trump specifically mentioned Chinese and Russian ships as potential threats in the nearby seas. And in December 2025, Trump doubled down. He appointed Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry as special envoy to the Arctic island, making it clear that the U.S. is serious about grabbing the Greenland.
You've named Governor Landry to be new special envoy to Greenland.
Yeah.
What do you see that role entailing, and is it still your intention that
Well,
Greenland
he called
become
me,
part
and
of the U.S.?
he viewed Louisiana, the Louisiana Purchase. He said, "I'm governor of Louisiana," and he said, "I would love." I didn't call him; he called me. He's very proactive. He's a great guy. He's a deal guy. He's a deal maker type guy. And we need it for national protection. We need Greenland for national protection. They have a very small population. And I don't know, they say Denmark, but Denmark has spent no money. They have no military protection. If they say that Denmark was there 300 years ago or something with a boat, well, we were there with boats too, I'm sure. So we'll have to work it all out. But he felt very strongly we need it for we need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it. And he wanted to lead the charge, so we're making him, Marco, today, a special envoy to Greenland. Greenland's a big deal.
Last month, Denmark's prime minister fired back, declaring, "Our future is ours to decide." Europe, too, stepped in. The European Union made its position clear that Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, and its borders are non-negotiable.
Hi, I'm wondering if you have any reaction to the U.S. appointing an envoy for Greenland, and comments made apparently trying to advance U.S. interests when it comes to Greenland. Do you have any reaction to that? The Danes are going to summon the U.S. ambassador, if they haven't done so.
Thank you for the question. It is not for me here to comment on U.S. decisions, but what I can say about the EU position is the following, which has been our long-standing position on the matter: that preserving the territorial integrity of the Kingdom of Denmark, its sovereignty, and the inviolability of its borders is essential for the European Union.
Greenland is a territory within the Kingdom of Denmark. It is home to about 57,000 people and has had extensive self-government since 1979. However, defense and foreign policy remain in Danish hands. Also, the island nation has had a troubled relationship with its former colonizer, and critics accuse Denmark of neglecting the region and taking it for granted. While most Greenlanders favor eventual independence from Denmark, opinion polls show overwhelming opposition to becoming part of the U.S. Remember, Denmark is a NATO ally that has traditionally enjoyed close relations with Washington.
We have had to listen to a lot. Threats, pressure, and condescending remarks, even from our closest allies for a generation, about wanting to take over another country and another people as if it was something you could buy and own that has no place anywhere. We shoulder our responsibility in the world, And it is not us who will seek out conflict. But let there be no doubt. No matter what happens, we will stand firm on what is right and what is wrong.
Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has struck a defiant note against Donald Trump's ambition to annex Greenland. In her New Year message, Frederiksen said the country was rapidly beefing up the military force and will stand firm against attempts to take over Greenland.
The kingdom is vast in geography and small in population. And over the past year, we have had to listen to a lot. Threats, pressure, and condescending remarks, even from our closest allies for a generation, about wanting to take over another country and another people as if it was something you could buy and own that has no place anywhere. We shoulder our responsibility in the world, and it is not us who will seek out conflict. But let there be no doubt. No matter what happens, we will stand firm on what is right and what is wrong. I completely understand if one enters the new year without much optimism for the world. It is as if hope is well hidden in these years, but perhaps in reality, we do not need to search for it for long. Maybe it is right here, in our care for one another, our trust in others, in our Danish way of doing things. Maybe we need to start believing a bit more in ourselves and in the values on which we have built Denmark, where few have too much and fewer have too little. And perhaps it is especially in the difficult years that we need to rediscover the belief that tomorrow will be better than today. That, at least, is what I will do my utmost to achieve.
Frederiksen's message comes after Trump renewed his campaign to annex the autonomous Danish territory by appointing Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry to serve as U.S. Special Envoy to Greenland.
We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it. And he wanted to lead the charge, so we're making him, Marco, today, a special envoy to Greenland. Greenland's a big deal.
Trump has said that Greenland is crucial for U.S. security and hasn't ruled out taking the island by military force, even though Denmark is a NATO ally of the U.S. However, Landry had said the Trump administration isn't going to go in there trying to conquer anybody or try to take over anybody's country. The remark is in contradiction to Trump's ambitions. Trump called repeatedly for U.S. jurisdiction over Greenland during his presidential transition and in the early months of his second term.
Washington is scrambling to calm a growing diplomatic storm over Greenland after President Donald Trump openly floated the idea of bringing the Arctic island under U.S. control. Now, the Trump administration's newly appointed special envoy to Greenland, Jeff Landry, insists the United States is not seeking to conquer Danish territory. Speaking to Fox News, Landry, who is also the governor of Louisiana, pushed back against accusations of imperial ambition, saying Washington wants conversations, not conquest. I think our discussions should be with the actual people in Greenland, Landry said. What are they looking for? What opportunities have they not gotten? Why haven't they gotten the protection they actually deserve? Landry stressed that the administration has no intention of marching in and seizing land. We're not going to go in there trying to conquer anybody or take over anybody's country, he said. But those reassurances ring hollow for many in Europe. Just weeks earlier, Landry himself said he would work to make Greenland a part of the U.S., and President Trump has repeatedly claimed that America needs Greenland for national security, pointing to its strategic Arctic position, military value, and untapped mineral wealth. Trump has gone even further, saying the U.S. would acquire Greenland one way or the other, and refusing to rule out the use of military force. That rhetoric has set off alarm bells in Copenhagen. Denmark was reportedly not consulted before Landry's appointment, prompting sharp criticism from Danish officials who see Greenland as an inseparable part of their sovereign territory. In a rare joint statement this week, Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and Greenland's leader Jens Frederik Nielsen pushed back forcefully. They said national borders and sovereignty are protected under international law, and that no country can simply annex another, not even with an argument about international security. Greenland, home to about 57,000 people, has been self-governing since 1979, managing its own domestic affairs while Denmark retains control over defense and foreign policy. The United States, meanwhile, has maintained a military presence on the island since World War II, a footprint that continues to fuel Washington's strategic interest. Vice President J.D. Vance has said the administration expects Greenlanders to exercise self-determination and eventually break away from Denmark, a statement that has only intensified fears of U.S. pressure behind the scenes. As Washington insists its intentions are peaceful, critics warn the words coming from the White House tell a far more aggressive story, one that could redraw borders, strain alliances, and turn Greenland into the next major flashpoint in global power politics.